Hello, everyone. So the question is, will the governing body, will Jehovah's Witnesses, will Watchtower come forward with some sort of statement to explain why one of their governing body members was caught at a liquor store, from what I hear, on a Sunday buying $1,000 worth of whiskey? Well, if you think about it, what did Watchtower do when the Candace Connie sexual abuse case came up on television? Well, they relied on that little bubble that Jehovah's Witnesses live in, where they don't question anything that goes on in the organization. They don't question any of the teachings. And if anything is on social media or on the news about the organization, they just simply won't look at it. What did Watchtower do when the Australian Royal Commission got so big all over the internet? Geoffrey Jackson lying under oath on video. Was there some sort of PR department at Watchtower that came forward with a statement? Did Geoffrey Jackson step down for lying under oath? Well, of course he did. Watchtower relies on the members being so afraid of being disfellowshipped, being shunned, losing their positions. They rely on the members staying in their little bubble and not asking any questions, not rocking the boat at all. So why would Watchtower need to come forward with some sort of a statement to address why their governing body member is clearly on video at the liquor store buying it up, leaving with $1,000 worth of whiskey? Because the members, they're too docile. They won't ask any questions. So that may be the tactic that Watchtower uses to try to sweep all this under the rug. We just won't come forward and say anything. The members aren't going to look. If they see it, they won't ask any questions. They'll be too afraid to. Well, that's where us activists come in. Because there's no way that this is going to disappear. It's already being discussed by just about every YouTuber I know of. It's everywhere online. And the reason why people even know about it is because of the XJW community. I'm sure the person that recorded the video was a part of the XJW community, or at least knew who Toni Morris was somehow. And the people who are reporting on it are part of the XJW community. So it's up to us to then bring this information to Jehovah's Witnesses. That's the problem Watchtower has. Watchtower's problem isn't that there's a video of a governing body member buying up the liquor store. That's not their problem, because their members won't even look at it. Their members, if they see it, won't ask questions. Their problem is the XJW community is going to make sure everyone becomes aware that the man that they base their life on to teach them what God does and does not approve of is more than likely an alcoholic. And potentially other governing body members could also be indulging in alcohol. And that brings up another question. Because with all this going on, how can they keep their members in a bubble when all these Jehovah's Witnesses are out standing next to carts? They're easily identifiable. We can easily walk right up to them and just show them the video of Tony Morris at the liquor store. They probably won't watch some YouTuber's explanation of it or commentary on it. They may not watch a whole video about it, but the actual video of Tony Morris at the liquor store with all that liquor, yeah, we could walk right up to all these carts that we see all the time and show them. We could go into a Kingdom Hall, pretend to want to study, and say, hey, is this one of your members? We could show everybody. Because of the XJW community, their members aren't safe in the bubble. So they're in trouble. Watchtower is in trouble. If it wasn't the false predictions that the XJW community had to bring to the forefront to the members, if it wasn't the child molestation that we had to bring to the members, to bust their little bubble and bring them this information, now we have a governing body member on video, from what I hear, on a Sunday, a day where you're supposed to be at your meeting, in service, studying, meditating. This is a Sunday. Even the quote-unquote world would more than likely say, yeah, Sunday is kind of a day to go and worship and spend time with family, not spend time at the liquor store with $800 worth of whiskey. See, not only did we have all that information to bring to the members, now we have Tony Tight Pants Whiskey Morris to bring to their attention. Hey, this is the guy that you are following. Is this why you think that this is the truth? Because you got your own governing body members and this is how they conduct themselves and they haven't stepped down and nothing is happening? You see, we have all this information now. And what people really need to understand is, let's say this did happen on a Sunday. This is what I'm hearing, is that it happened on a Sunday. Bethel, especially from what I remember of Wallkill, the farm, is very laid back on a Sunday. Someone asked, well, how come security didn't see it? How is he going to get it in? What about the maid or the housekeeper, I should say? They don't like being called maids. Won't the housekeeper see it? Why didn't he send his governing body helpers to go and buy him some liquor? Well, if this was on a Sunday, more than likely, whoever the governing body's helpers are wasn't working for them that day. They were probably at their meeting. That's probably their day off. A lot of people work a half a day on Saturday. This is what I used to do. Work a half a day on Saturday, then pack my things up, travel to my congregation, Instead of going to my congregation for service on Saturday, driving all the way back to Bethel on Saturday, and then driving all the way back to Bethel on Sunday, a lot of Bethelites will just drive out to their congregation after their half a day of work on Saturday, stay the night, and then come back sometime later Sunday. Maybe just come back Sunday for dinner. So Bethel is very laid back on the weekend. The weekend is normally the time that people would sleep in. The weekend was normally the time when Bethel is half empty. When I would do my all-night watchman on a Sunday, oftentimes I would just go in after my duty, head to my room, get ready to get changed, and then I would go to the Pine Bush congregation because Pine Bush congregation was the closest to Walk Hill. Half sleep, I've been up all night for my watchman. And Bethel would be a ghost town. It'd be empty. Everybody's gone. Everybody's at their congregation. Or everybody's asleep, trying to get some sleep. Everybody's in the room relaxing, laid back. It would be very easy for Tony Morris to, on a weekend, go to the liquor store, buy liquor, and then bring it to his room. It would be very easy. People really need to go and hang out around Bethel during the day just to see how laid back it is. It's not like some security is going to run up on you during the day. They don't know what's going on during the day. If you're walking around with a backpack and a white shirt like all the other Bethelites, they don't know that you're not a Bethelite. Technically, if someone is inside the facility that you don't recognize, a Bethelite is supposed to approach them and ask to see their Bethel ID. I never saw that. I never saw that happening. There was a time on the weekend at Bethel where there was a group of people walking unescorted. And they came up to me and just started asking me questions. So I just gave them a little tour. I walked them around the courtyard. They started asking me where specific places were at Bethel. And some places I didn't know where they were, and some places I didn't. But this is not unusual. People think that Bethel is this place where everything is watched over the weekend. I saw plenty of people at Bethel that weren't Bethelites that got into Bethel. There's a million doors for Walk Hill that walked in and was hanging out at Bethel. My roommate, there was a time when he was gone, and some girl, I guess from his congregation, I don't know where she was from because me and my roommate went to different congregations. There was a knock on the door. I answered the door, and there was a sister there. And she was asking to, is such and such there? My roommate. I'm like, no. Matter of fact, I called him. And I guess he forgot she was coming or something and asked if did I mind showing her around. So I just walked her around, showed her around. People walk into Bethel all the time. So again, it's not that heavily watched during the weekend. During the week, that's when everybody's on their set schedule. That may be when you would recognize if something was going on out of the ordinary. But during the weekend, man, Bethel is you can ask some Bethelites that are from Brooklyn, ask some Bethelites that were from Patterson and see what they think. I don't know how it was there, but at Walk Hill, You could have came and walked right into Bethel if you wanted to over the weekend. Now, you can't do it at night. Yes, they have people, watchmen watching at night. You have people driving around in security trucks at night. But during the day, unless they've changed something, you could easily get in. You see a Bethelite walking in, using their key to walk in a specific door, just come in behind them. They're not going to ask who you are. It's not that secure. Bethel isn't that secure during the weekend. So yeah, Tony Morris could have easily got that alcohol in to Bethel during the weekend, especially a Sunday. And my roommate had alcohol. He used to, not anywhere near as much as Tony Morris had, but I believe he used to have a glass of scotch or some sort of liquor before going to sleep. The alcohol would be in the cabinet. The housekeeper never said anything about it. There were other people that I would hang out over their room. Where would their beer and alcohol be? In the fridge. That's where I drank one of the first times I drank Heineken was at Bethel. God just handed me it right out of the fridge. The housekeeper, I guess, doesn't go through the fridge and go through all the cabinets. They never said anything about it. Before any of this happened with Tony Morris, I mentioned that while I was walking to my room, Brother Rayford from Walkill, a lot of seniority, he'd be on morning worship programs, a higher up. I saw him walking with like a 24-pack of beer and walked into his room with it. There wasn't anybody watching him. I mean, this is the point. Jehovah's Witness, they follow blindly men who, number one, they don't know who they are. They don't know who these people are when they are announced as governing body members. And they don't follow what governing body members do in their personal time. Jehovah's Witnesses blindly follow men that they know nothing about. Literally, they don't know anything about these men. Samuel Hurd with a pinky ring and a Rolex watch. They don't know where he got it from. They don't know anything about the people that they follow. So then it's up to the XJW community to make sure everyone becomes aware that Anthony Morris has a drinking problem, unless you believe he bought all that whiskey just to look at it. Or he bought all that whiskey for his wife. Either Anthony Morris has a drinking problem or his wife has a drinking problem. I believe Anthony Morris has it. I don't think he bought all that for his wife. So comment down below. Let me know what you think. Again, Bethel, from what I remember, was super laid back during the weekend, especially on a Sunday. You get away with a lot on a Sunday when half of the staff of Bethel is out in their congregation or sleeping in, or out doing something, hobbies or relax over the weekend. You kind of want to sit back and chill. You're not watching Anthony Morris to see if he's out buying up the liquor store. So 937-789-4029, ex-Walkill Bethelite signing out.